thank you, Wendy. You saved the day, Wendy. Thank you very much. Again, welcome to Clear Waters, a live open conversation tonight. Tonight's topic is a new form of government. Yep, we're leaving the gods alone for tonight and we're going to talk about something else. Thank you, Wendy, again for that one. Sometimes I miss that. But tonight I'm going to be making a presentation about a new form of government. This is how your government in your country will be running, not in the far future. Okay, so after I present this new form of government, I think what you are free to do is try to take down or break it, this new form of government. Because I don't want anybody just approving and not really putting it to the test. So this is the purpose. I'm putting this out there finally. Carlos Casanova, welcome to the live stream. You were better muted. Oh man, that's not nice. Come on, you can do better than that. You don't want to hear my voice, man. Press on. Go watch cat videos. Tonight we're talking about government, probably something that you're not interested about. But you're more than welcome to stay and give your opinion, your points of view. So we're just going to wait a few minutes just in case someone is going to join to have this conversation about the government in the United States, what's going on right now, politics, maybe in your country, why there's always uncontrollable corruption, stealing money, rerouting money, and the famous circular businesses in government. Probably you have never heard of that, but there is such thing that I call a circular business in government, redirecting money. But let me check, make sure. Yeah, audio is fine on that one. I'm live streaming on horizontal and vertical, just in case you want to watch me on your TV. And Discord is up and running. I already pinned the address in case anybody wants to call in. Yeah, that address is valid and it's also showing at the bottom of the screen. In case someone wants to call in and have a conversation about this new form of government. This, in my point of view, in my opinion, this is how new governments are going to run. And I'm going to show you why I'm saying this in a few minutes. So it's been 10 minutes since I started the live stream. We're going to wait like 5 more minutes. And then I do this presentation. Just waiting for some more viewers to join. Maybe there's going to be people out there that are interested in freeing themselves from this slavery life. I'm going to present to you a new form of government where you can take action and take decisions in order to change the outcome in your country. Yes, sirree. Probably I'm being a little bit naive. Probably not. But we got to talk about this and how it's going to be implemented in a legal and peaceful way. Yes, sirree. Yes, sirree. So tonight, we're not talking about any gods. We're not talking about Allah. We're not talking about the God of the Bible. We're not talking about Olodumare. We're not talking about any of the currently available gods. But there's a similarity between those live streams about God and talking about government, countries, because there's one common denominator between gods and countries, and that is you and me. Yes, people with feelings. the root of all evil. My evil laugh. I gotta perfect it. Some people say that I talk in behalf of the devil. Whatever that means. So we're just gonna wait a few more minutes, 3 more minutes. And then we start with this presentation. Probably some people are gonna miss it and they're asking me questions. Why are you saying this? Why are you saying that? Probably if you subscribe to the channel and you put the notification to get noticed right away when I put out something or when I live stream, that way you won't miss the presentations that I normally do at the beginnings of the live stream. Because once I'm done with the presentation at the beginning of the live streams, I then focus on the chats or receive calls in order to have conversations. Yes, sirree. It's gonna wait 2 more minutes and then we go with this presentation. Probably you have never heard of this before. Probably most likely you're going to laugh about this new form of government. After you laugh, you're gonna ask questions. The questions are gonna be answered, and then you're gonna start thinking about this new form of government and the possibilities. And then you probably are going to seriously consider it because there's something that you can do about it. So tonight, my live stream doesn't say anything about a God. Let's see how many people are interested in this live stream. I suspect that maybe not too many people. Most people are not interested in improving their country. It seems that way. But I don't blame anybody because as the system that we're running right now in pretty much 99% of the countries is a failed system and we keep supporting it. Why? Because out of ignorance. But you're not going to be ignorant no more. And I'm choosing not to be ignorant no more. This live stream, if you stay in this live stream and you participate, you will be shown some information that should get you excited because this is your freedom. If you haven't noticed yet, you are a slave, just like me. Yes, of a system that we continue to support every day. This is not a movie. This is reality. And I'm going to show it to you. Hey, Peace Ninja, welcome to the live stream. Listening but driving, be careful, my friend. Not be careful. I like to say better. And I forgot that word. I don't like using be careful. Be safe. Yeah, I like that word better. So saying hi to Peace Ninja, driving right now. So we're gonna wait just 1 more minute and then we go to this presentation about a new form of government. It doesn't matter which country you're from. This is mainly focused in the United States because it's the most powerful country in the world. And if something happens in the States, most likely in whichever country you are, you're going to be affected. So this is an example using the United States as a country. And also because we're seeing what's happening with USA. It's kind of weird. I call it maybe jokingly hijacking a government. This is what happened every 4 years in the United States and in your country, in my country, whichever country. It is not putting someone in power. It's a hijack of the government and the country. These separations of power in government are just an illusion, in case you haven't noticed. But okay, less than 1 minute. We'll start with this presentation, just with 3 or 4 people that we have in the live stream. And on the horizontal, yesterday we broke the record of assistance on the horizontal live stream. There were like 10 people. No, I'm sorry, 7 people. That's been the most on the horizontal live stream. But we gotta be patient. Anyways, these live streams are being recorded, and people do see them after they are recorded. And also, I put out all the time shorts almost every day, short videos about these presentations. So just in case you miss something, I try to get the most important parts from these live streams, and I send them out, 3 or 4 of them a day from Monday to Fridays. Saturdays and Sunday, I don't want anything to do with YouTube, only from Monday to Friday. So here we go. Let's go with this presentation about a new form of government. Remember, this live stream is brought to you by the Feel Good Company, where good feelings are guaranteed. Oh man, that news guy voice, I like it. Yes, we find anything that will make you feel good. If you need a God in your life, man, we'll find it. We have the right product for you. I'm just kidding. Have a good sense of humor. So here we go with this presentation. Let me lower the volume a little bit so I can concentrate, just so you can barely hear it. Welcome everybody to the live stream. So what's going on around the world right now with our governments? In case you don't know it, we have a problem, humongous. That is one of the reasons I said at the beginning, we are slaves. It's called a modern slave. I am a slave, but to no one but to my own ignorance. Incredible. Agent Wolf, welcome to the live stream. Nice to have you here. So what is the problem that we're having right now? I'm going to put it very clearly to you in case you haven't noticed. Right now in your country, in whichever country, we're focusing right now in the United States as an example. The problem is that in your government, we pay for the country, but we do not own it. Wow. Number 2, we support the government, but we do not control it. Oh, what? Are you serious? And number 3, we maintain the system, yet we have no power over it. Man, just giving you these 3 points, I can just shut down this live stream right now, and I leave it for homework to you in case you haven't noticed that this is what's happening in your country right now with your current government system. In the United States, this is how the government rolls, man. We pay for the country, we don't own it. We support the government, we do not control it. We maintain the system, yet we have no power over it. Some people say, no, what are you saying? You know, what happened when we vote? Oh, silly you. You get to vote 1 day out of 4 years. Don't be ridiculous and say that you control your country 1 day. It's called an illusion, you know? But after you're done watching this live stream, you're not gonna be fooled anymore, because knowledge is power. So now we know what is the problem. So what are the symptoms that you've seen in your country in the United States. We're using as an example. Let's watch. Number one, corruption. Man, this is brutal. Brutal corruption. Like in your face. I don't have to hide it anymore. I steal that money in front of you. I do not care. I make my own business. I benefit my family, my friends, my business partners. And there's absolutely nothing, nada you can do about it. Number two, abuse of power. Oh, yes, sirree. Yes, sirree. You can use whatever is at hand to attack your political enemies or whoever bothers you. This supposed separation of power, another illusion. There's no separation, because once you do businesses between these different parts of power, it all is all an illusion. So we saw a very good example with the Biden administration. Man, those people didn't care. They were going after everybody. Hey, I don't care. You're going to jail. You're going to jail. So right now, the system has no controls. Very minimum. SRE. And number three symptom that you've seen like everywhere is lobbying and bribery. Money influencing decisions instead of citizens. You know, I know that I'm an old-fashioned guy. You know how I can tell? Because before, a long time ago, when you give money in any shape or form to a politician, it was called a bribery. Bribery. Now it's called a donation. Oh man, wow. Yep. So people right now, other governments are buying USA politicians. They do it on plain sight. Don't care anymore. So whatever we're doing as citizens of our countries is not working anymore. This form of government that we right now have, it used to be 95% effective. Then it went to 85% effective. Right now, I estimate that the form of government is probably 55%. It's horrible. This is a horrible way to govern ourselves. And this is not fault of the corrupt politicians. There's only one source to do all this mess. You and me. Yes, sirree. There's no one else. Yes. You're going to see a similarity with my God presentations and live streams. There's someone over there on those live streams. There's the human being with his feelings. And here in this horrible form of government, you're going to find us too, humans with our feelings. We are the ones that are creating this system, maintaining this system, and then complaining about this system. But let's not stop right there, because this live stream is not for complaining. We are fixing this government, you and me. Yes, because you know, no politician is going to do it. This is up to you and me. And I'm going to show you how we're going to do it. So, let me show you how we're going to do this. Exactly step by step. First step, we have to own the problem in our countries, in the United States. The problem is not the president. The problem is not the whatever you want to blame in the government. The president, because everybody blames the president. The president is not the problem. It's not anybody in the government. It's not that the president is making businesses with other countries. In case of Israel, that everybody complains, and we can see it plainly. The problem is you and me. So we have to bring the problem to us, accept it that we are the ones that are creating and maintaining this problem. Then, by having it close to us and accepting the responsibility, then and only then we can fix it. As long as you keep continue blaming someone else out of you, that is the fault for this horrible form of government, you're never going to be able to fix it. So, you and me, we own this problem. In the USA, is because our fault, our ignorance. Okay? So first step is accept responsibility. Number 2, we are going to restructure publicly elected positions. Why do I say that? Because there are some very important positions that are not of a public election, and that will change because those positions are key for people right now in the governments to make businesses with other parts of the government. So if we put those positions in the as a publicly elected positions, we're gonna fix a lot of problems. It's gonna be extremely difficult for corrupt politicians, if you wanna call them corrupt, to make businesses. Number 2 connects to number 3. I'm gonna show you why, okay? We are going to implement a new voting system. This 3-part thing is gonna improve the government. It's not gonna make it perfect, but this 55% that I mentioned to you is gonna put it up to what? 94, 95%? Yes, it's gonna make a lot of changes. Now, the accepting the responsibility, I don't have to show you or make an illustration about this. I'm sorry, you understand it, but I'm gonna make an illustration about what I'm talking about, restructure publicly elected positions. So let me show you about this restructure of publicly elected positions. Here we go. So while you're looking at the screen right now, man, I have to open this on a separate window so I can see it clearly. There you go. Now I can see it very clearly. So in this system, new system that we're going to be implementing as a new form of government, for public election is going to be the president with his vice president, governors, and mayors. That's part of the executive branch. Hopefully I'm not wrong about any of these structures, okay? I'm not an expert on this. For the legislative branch, we're going to elect senators, representatives, state legislators, and city councils. Oh yes, those pesky city councils. Man, I think that a lot of people are going to get very happy about this. So, not to spend too much time on this, let's jump to the judicial branch. Oh yes, Supreme Court members. Yes, sir. We elect them. Yes. No more making business or putting people or suggesting people for those positions of very, very powerful positions. Not anymore. That is being elected by the public. Federal judges, man, those extremely corrupt judges, out Out, 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 out. Now you're gonna be elected publicly by the people and, of course, the state judges. Now, for the oversight enforcement section, elect the attorney general. Oh, yes, sirree. No more president appointing these positions. FBI director. It's going to be extremely difficult for a president to be using the FBI as a weapon to attack his political enemies. Extremely difficult. Sheriffs, district attorneys, and inspectors generals. Yes, that will put an end to a lot of corruption and a lot of bad people in those positions abusing power. And lastly, local governments. We're going to be electing mayors, sheriffs, city councils, and school boards. Some of these are repetitive. I had to reorganize this, but I think you get the message. Yes, the infamous school boards. You know what I mean? Yes, you no longer have to be fighting these people and begging them. No more. We're going to be putting those as publicly election positions. And how are we going to do this? Oh, this is the part that you are going to get excited, because once I share this with you, man, you're going to feel the power. You no longer gonna have to expose yourself to being a protest or anything like that, because the power is gonna be on your hands. What do I mean by that? I'm gonna show you right now. This, remember I show you this, okay? I just showed you the restructure publicly elected positions. Now, how we're going to implement a new voting system. Let me show you. You ready? Are you ready? This is how we're going to do it. Let me explain to you this graphic. As in right now, we elect, for example, the president 1 day out of 4 years. In 1 day, you can try to hack the system, corrupt the system, do some cheating on the system, okay? But this system that you're looking on the screen right now runs all the time. Yes, the voting system never ends. It's always up and running. It's not 1 day. Just by that fact, it's going to be extremely difficult to corrupt it, because you're going to have to corrupt it every day, every day, every day. Not 1 day. It's way more easy to cheat 1 day than trying to do it constantly. So what are you looking on the screen right now? What is this thing that you're looking at in the screen? Let me open it on my, there you go. You can see it better now. So what you're looking at is part of an app that you can have in your phone, in your computer, or you can go to one of the offices that you can do this on a public computer, okay, with your user and password. For example, for president, you have 2 options to choose. It looks like a primary. There's going to be 1,000 people in there. There can be 10,000 people. They want to be president. Okay. So whoever is at the top of this secondary list, the top 2, they jump to the first section, the general election. Let's call it the top 2. The first one with the most votes is the current president of the United States. Why? Because currently the majority of the people are continue to electing that person as the president of the United States. In this case is James Smith. Okay. So, and the second person is Michael Jones. Has a chance of 3 months to go over the president. If that person, Michael Jones, with 14%, at some point in time, goes over the president and stays there for 30 days, We give the current president their fire as a president, and we give them the 30 days. Yes, we no longer have to wait 4 years to get that person out of the position. This is not anymore giving your power away to some corrupt politician or someone that you didn't want to elect, but there was nothing else. No, now you can take that person out of the power almost immediately. It is not possible that in a company, you put someone to manage the company, a CEO, and you know that they're stealing or they're doing their own business. You're going to fire that person. Why we cannot do that in the government? This is how we're going to run governments. Okay? Us having the control. We don't have to be on every decision, but we going to hire and fire whichever person we want by doing this. Okay? So if Jen Smith, the majority of people, has 90% of the votes of everybody in the United States, why would you want to take that person out of the power? Just because he's 4 years, is doing marvelous job. That person can continue in power. That person that had the second position, 3 months passed by, didn't move up or is very far away, is out. And the next person from the second section, the primary, moves up and starts competing with the current president. Very simple. 24/7. It never stops. Whoever is president of the United States is always going to be looking at this, because this is going to be the thermometer, the measurement of how that person is doing their job. Once they start seeing that number starts going down, that person can get into panic. Oh, there's some news that you're doing business with another country. You're accepting money from another country. That number starts going down. People are starting to get informed. You have to get out. 3 days later, this votes goes down, and then Michael Jones goes up. Yes. If that happens for 30 days continuously, the president is fired. Get down, get off. You are fired. Yes, sirree. And what you're looking at right now for president is going to be the same page, similar page, but same way 24/7 with all these positions that I showed you before for all these publicly positions. So everybody that is able to get in one of these positions are going to constantly be looking at their election pages to make sure that they're doing a good job. Now you're not gonna be an arrogant politician or position in public position. Nope. You're gonna be thinking twice about doing some kind of deals with someone else. You're gonna get fired immediately. It's not gonna work. It's gonna be extremely difficult. This is not wishful thinking. This is how the USA is going to run their government, because there is nothing better than this at this current moment. This system is, I don't know, 40 times better than what we have right now. So, in a nutshell, I'm going to read this to you. Our current system is based on representative government. We elect people, then we surrender control for years and hope they do a good job. In a company, that will never work. If a CEO fails, abuses power, or loses the confidence of the board of shareholders, that person can be removed immediately. Why should government be different? In this new form of government, political positions will remain under continuous public evaluation through a live voting system. Citizens will not have to wait years for elections. If enough people lose confidence in the president, minister, major, or representative, they could remove their support in real time. Once support falls below a required threshold, that official will automatically lose the position and be replaced. In other words, that person is fired. The people will not just elect government officials, they will continuously supervise them. Yes, 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 yes. And ladies and gentlemen, the information is out there now. Some people are gonna watch this live stream and they're gonna be like, no way, no way, you're not going to ruin our businesses that we have right now, stealing money, making businesses with the government. It is going to be extremely difficult. Now, I'm gonna end the presentation here and I'm gonna go to the chats and receive calls. Please try to tell me, Javier, this is not gonna work because of this, because of that, because of this. Go ahead and ask me the questions. Try to break it like people have done in the past 5 years that I've been constructing this system. I have many conversations with people and they tell me it's not going to work because of this or that or that. So I don't think you're going to ask me anything new, but probably you can. So thank you for listening and let's jump into the chats and receive calls. Chuck McNorris. Hey, Chuck. Welcome to the live stream. Not talking about any God today, but Chulum is there. Transmutating, the best form of government is one where people are encouraged to pursue individual choices rather than group consensus. Group consensus through history responsible for the worst deeds in mankind. Yep, I agree with you, Transmutating. What I'm doing here is giving specifics on how we are going to run this government. In your country, in the USA, in this country, any country. Hopefully, Mr. Bukele, how you doing? Hi. Give me a call, okay? Because I don't think you're going to be in power for 100 years. Once you step down from power, who's going to be president after you? Probably it's going to ruin everything that you have done for years with very hard labor. So you got to implement a new system. Give me a call. Give me a call. So let's see some of these questions and comments. People, I'm not talking about God. Come on, believers, leave the God alone for one night. Yeah, there's a similarity between talking about God and talking about government. The similarity is the human being with the feelings. Yes. Carl is voting for Jesus. Oh, come on, Carl. Leave Jesus alone for one night. Come on. DK share. Jesus isn't good. Skeletora, the word president was chosen because he was closer to a business instead of a monarchy. Yes, I understand that the government is a form of a entity, company. That's why they call it president. Praying first. Welcome to the live stream. I just made a presentation about a new form of government. This live stream is gonna go around the world. This live stream is gonna go, how do you call that when it goes viral? Probably not. It doesn't matter. The information is out there. This is the first time I ever talk about this in more detail. I'm open to any questions that you have about this new form of government. Excuse me. What am I doing? What am I doing? Touching the phone. Yeah, if you have any questions about anything I said, try to break it. Diva don't play, ban all abortions. That's a subject that, you know, through this system, I think government is going to take a way better choice, what the majority wants. Praying first. The Jesus Christ government is going to be liturgically ran government. Definitely beautiful. Oh, how cute. Praying first. How cute. Probably in a fantasy world, but we're talking about real life here. I just made a presentation about a new form of government and give a lot of details. Carl, the computer will control you. I don't know exactly what you mean by that. Agent Wolf, a diva, ban not extreme cases like grapes. Yes, I agree. There are some cases that have to be analyzed. Carl, one world government, the system. Not, no, this is not what I'm suggesting with this new form of government. We don't want to amass so much power in one single place. Praying first. I believe the new government will not have power to redefine words. What do you mean by that? Can you please clarify some of these questions, some of these comments? I don't understand them. Some people ask me why you are attacking God and then you guys want to talk about God. Come on. I'll make another live stream tomorrow about God if that makes you happy. I'll give him in the head. Just kidding, just kidding. Carl, Agenda 2030 coming to a town near you. Carl, no, I think this system is going to take place first because you and me are going to make sure that it's going to run. But before that happens, probably it will be a good idea if you ask me questions. Praying first. Will the US government redefine marriage where two guys can marry each other, two girls can marry each other? That kind of nonsense needs to stop with a new approved dictionary. Praying first, with this new form of government that I just presented, is gonna be more probability that the government is gonna take decisions based on what the majority of the citizens in the country want. Right now, the government can do whatever they want. It doesn't have what to do with the majority wants or the minority. They don't care because they have total control. So you want to have anything better in your life right now? Yeah, probably choose a different form of government, and I'm offering one right now. Carl, data centers, that's to control you and your money or credit. Carl, with this new form of government, us as citizens of the country can choose to remove any politician that is behaving in a way that go against what the majority wants. So if we're being hurt by any data centers, we can choose to remove that politician or that official from their positions and fire them. Praying first. Obviously, with redefining words for legal purposes is really weird. Yes. No, you won't. No, you won't what? I don't understand, Carol. Can you be more specific? I'm open to receiving questions. I'm going to be showing you different parts of the presentation. Carl, it's above your pay grade. I have no idea what you're talking about, Carl. Probably if you expand a little bit more. This is how, more or less, the page for electing a president will look like in this new system. 24/7, running all the time, voting system. No need to wait 4 years in order to elect a president. Diva don't play. God created marriage, and so he has the right to declare exactly what it is. Carl, you won't stop the one world government. Carl, if you're so negative, just stand to the side, and let the people that want to do good in this world take charge. It seems to me, Carl, that you're taking that position of victim. You're gonna be victim of the agenda 2030. It's up to you, my friend. I mean, in the road of making changes to this world that are gonna be good for everybody or for most people. You don't want to be part of it? Stand to the side, man. And just be with your Lord and Savior. I'm just kidding, man. I have to say that. Diva don't play. God created marriage, and so he has the right to declare exactly what it is. And he said a marriage is to be between man and one woman only. Diva don't play. Even though I don't agree with, same-sex marriage and all the stuff, that God created marriage, I don't think you can even convince yourself of that, or prove to yourself that, or to anybody. Because most people don't believe in the God that you believe in. Larry Wilson. Today, the new form of government is more of international corporations and technology. It's also the non-profit sector. You can influence politics without being in the traditional process. Yes, I agree with you, Larry. With this new form of government that I'm presenting right now, we take control again as citizens of the country. It's going to be our control, and we take the decisions of who stay and who gets fired. So whoever we find out that is doing stuff that go against the majority or the people in the country, we fire that person. They're fired. President is fired. I'm open to receiving questions. Try to break what I'm just explaining to you. Why, Javier? This is not going to work because of this. Carl said that it's not going to work because it's out of my pay grade, but I'm not even getting paid, so I don't know what he's talking about. Diva, that's all nature biologically. Carl, you think your vote will change that? No way, it's already in the plan to watch, track, and monitor everything you do. Okay, Carl, so you decide to be a victim. Victims, stay to the side, okay? Stay to the side with the victims, and then let us that are trying to do something of courage to make changes legally and peacefully, so this very small group of people don't take control of the majority. So if you're okay with the victim mentality, just move out of the way, my friend. Diva don't play. We're talking about government and you're talking about the Bible. Why people criticize me, Javier? Why don't you talk about something else? Don't talk about gods. I talk about something else and you want me to talk about God. Diva don't play. It's in the Bible. It's in the beginning of Genesis with Adam and Eve. But Diva don't play. Most people think that the Bible is full of, fantasy stories and stuff like that. It's full of violence. It's full of misinformation, contradictions. It's a book that I will not have in my house, my friend. So imagine that, trying to convince most people that to believe in what you believe, taken from a book. You're taking this stuff from a book, not from a God. Judges, human beings created God. God didn't create beings. Carl, no, I know Jesus. He tells me about it. Carl, my friend, Jesus told you. Carl. Sure, Jesus told you, man. Sure. Josh is explaining that God is created by humans just like they created other gods, Zeus, Santa Claus, Tooth Fairy. Is no different. Agent Wolf is asking Josh, that's the polytheist pagan. You can include that also in the God of the Bible. Carl, because Jesus was here. Carl, that you think that Jesus was here is your belief. You know, I don't believe what you believe. It is your belief, and you can believe whatever you want. Josh, God was designed to help humans, ancient humans, understand the unknown, to fill the void of things they didn't understand. We know now, we now have modern science. Carl is in the book. He will tell you if you read it. Carl, nobody wants a book. Everybody's looking for a God. Can you give a God? Nobody wants a book. People are tired of the book. Tekken fan has a question. I have a question. Is how to get tech out of government alone with his PAC money. If we're able to fire public officials, they're gonna be thinking twice about doing businesses that they're getting fired one after the other. So in the case that we find a public official doing some shitty business with some tech company, we fire that person, and the next one that is come to be on that position, he gets hired by us, and he know what's going to happen if he continue doing that business. We're going to fire that person. Thank you, Tekken fan, for asking me a question about the new form of government. At least someone is asking a question. Well, also Larry Wilson asked me a question about the new form of government. Dominic, government waters. Oh man, Dominic, that's funny. Diva, don't play. As much as I want to engage in a conversation with you, Diva, about God, today's subject is a new form of government. It'll be nice to use your intelligence that you have to talk about this subject. Just relax. Tomorrow, I talk again about God, and we can talk about abortion. No, abortion is neither good or evil. These are labels that we put to things in order to explain it to ourselves. Diva, don't play. I think that's what Skeletora tried to explain to you the other day, and I'm explaining to you the same thing. These are labels that you put to things. And you want to pull labels because that way you can connect the labels to God and prove that God is the moral authority. So I'm just going down to see if anybody's asking me something about the government, the new form of government. Larry Wilson, the reality is. Wait. I was almost missed your message on top. Oh, wait. I almost missed your messages. Hold on. Okay, so for example, of different political authorities want to do stuff, they can have private companies use the technology to make it possible, ship them the blame to that company. Larry Wilson continues. Fundamentally, you have a lot of international organizations and people work together, even in countries that are openly fighting on another, but secret is a different matter. Larry Wilson continues. The other issue is that human beings are easily compromised and manipulating people. It doesn't take a lot of, especially if they're desperate and they need a way out, making them easy to control. Through this new form of government, it's gonna be extremely hard to control people because you're gonna have to control them every hour of the day, every day, in order for that people to vote for you and continue voting for you. Right now, you can buy votes because it's only for one day. But with this new system, you're gonna have to buy people every day. You're gonna have to put people in your as a salary to pay them every day. Larry Wilson also writes, the reality is one of the most powerful things that people have done recently that always has been infiltrated is different movements that established mutual aid that were strong. Looking at the complexity of the universe, if there's a being like a god, as people talk about, it's not going to be any of the descriptions that we create, but something entirely different. Larry Wilson, I totally agree with you. Yes. Even though we're not talking about gods today, we're talking about a new form of government. Yes, definitely I agree. Let me see. Some people are asking me questions. Um, David Martinez. Hey, David. Javier, would this government take money out of politics? No, not at all. Not at all. We will run the government as you run a company. You put a CEO slash president. That person is making a bad job, or we find him doing something that is not supposed to be doing. We remove our vote, and he's going to be fired in a few days. So they're going to be handling money in a total different way. Another question, Dominic, Javier, would make a great technocrat. Okay. Maybe, maybe not. Hey, what happened? Oh, I think I lost the audio. Hold on. Okay, there you go. Yeah, Larry Wilson, I'm reading your messages. Yeah, a lot of good things are going to come out from this new form of government because there's going to be accountability. So, public officials are going to take way different decisions that they're taking right now. They're not no longer going to be arrogant. They get fired immediately. There's going to be better ways to establish transparency. This is just a part of the new form of government. There are other stuff that I don't want to present it here because it's going to be a very long presentation. Larry Wilson, establishing open source alternative that can enable people to work around big tech platforms. Yep, Larry Wilson, I agree. Definitely. I'm surprised nobody has asked me the important questions about this system, like security, um, vulnerabilities, corrupting the system. Larry Wilson writes, with the fourth and fifth industrial revolution happening, it's a lot easier to create technology for the general population that is less centralized and more a democracy. Yes. Anybody wants to ask me a question about this new form of government? I understand that right now this is apparently not a very popular topic for some reason. I think we are so used to be slaves that we have kind of given up and let a small group of people take control of our lives. Dominic is asking, what's the government system called? I haven't put an, that's a good question, Dominic. I haven't put a name exactly. I just put a new form of government. But I think the most close thing, it could be, hold on. I don't know, probably a live 24/7 government. Power to the people government. Nah, that sounds cliche. But I think it will be a good idea if I come up with a name for it. Thank you for the question, Dominic. You made me think about that, like a slogan or something. Larry Wilson is asking, no, he's writing, with all the technology available today, even though many technocrats want to use it to control people, there's many applications that we can use from it to benefit people. Yes, Larry, this system that I'm presenting will benefit people. Definitely. Man, I think we got stuck in the God conversation. I don't blame anybody. That happens when I have done over and over talking about gods, but in reality, I'm not talking about gods, I'm talking about human beings. And right now, in this new form of government, we're talking about human beings. We're not talking about reality government. Dominic, I like technocracy. I read about that, Dominic. I don't like it that much because then you're not really creating a new system. People can be corrupted, but it's very hard to corrupt a system that doesn't depend on someone specifically. Edgar Hernandez, do you believe in scientific theories, even though they are just theories, not like scientific facts? I don't know who you're asking that, Edgar. You can ask me questions about God or whatever, but tonight I'm focusing more on this new form of government. I'm just switching slides, so in case you missed the presentation, at least you can see what I was talking about. Probably right now you're not aware of it, but you're being affected by your government and how bad it's being run because the system is already failing. Dominic writes, but it creates a system of important and not as important. Okay, I read that one already. Larry Wilson writes, it's really a matter of how the general population utilizes the technology. Higher levels of transparency will automatically reduce corruption to a degree. I think, Larry, that just by changing the way we can fire public officials is gonna make a humongous difference. No longer having to wait 4 years in order to vote. Edgar Hernandez is asking, so why do you pay taxes? You vote for representation, right? Edgar Hernandez, the representative way of government no longer works. At one time it worked, it no longer works. So by presenting this in using this new form of government, this is going to change by default by the way we're going to run the government. Public officials are going to make the right changes that they're not making right now because there's little accountability. Tech and Fan writes, if we run the country like a business and treat citizens as shareholders, what happens during an economic recession? A corporation can cut its liabilities by firing workers and dropping unprofitable. We, in this new form of government, thank you, Tech and Fan, for that good question. We are hiring and firing people from those positions. There's always going to be people that want to get into those positions. So you just fire someone and someone is going to go into that position. And they're the ones that are taking the decisions in the process of the government, because it will not run very efficiently if we're all taking decisions all the time. No. But having control of who takes the decisions and we can make changes immediately, yeah, that's going to make a big change. Tech and Fan, clients who protects the shareholders, voters, if the government goes bankrupt or decides a specific state or public service isn't profitable enough to keep. Tech and Fan, what is the option right now? There's more possibilities to take really bad decisions right now than really having a system that you can take accountability. Let the officials take the decisions. We look at the results of their decisions and we choose to continue having that person in that position or not, or let someone else that can handle those situations in a better way. So what we have right now is not better than what this new form of government is offering. Thank you, Tech and Fan, for that good question. The messages are going fast. Edgar Hernandez, have you ever heard of no taxation without representation? We vote in a democratic republic for our representatives. The officials get voted into office from us, the voters. What are you talking about? Edgar Hernandez, something tells me that you were not here for the presentation. Just go back on the live and just listen to the. I knew this is what was going to happen because this is new for most people. So you don't know what I'm talking about. Go back to the presentation and listen to the whole thing and then probably come back here and ask me any questions, because I'm not removing the voting. It's just a 24/7 voting. We continue to vote for these public officials. So probably it seems to me that you're missing a lot of information from the presentation. Larry Wilson is asking, how does your form of government provide more transparency for the different political authorities to see what's really happening? Because we can see the results of what politicians are doing, and also through news and investigation reports. And we can see that some president is not doing good for the country, we get him fired. So it's through information that we take these decisions. Some politicians wants to do something of corruption, and we find out some way or some other way, we get the person fired. Larry, if it's not very clear, try to compare it to what is available right now. It's not a better option. Larry Wilson is also asking, how does your form of government prevent different financials and other interests from manipulating the system with very little, such as a lot of capital? If we find out that a president received a donation from some other country, like happened recently, we can decide to get him fired. So the next president that comes and saw that happening, they're gonna say, "Wait a second. So if I accept money from some donor, I'm gonna get fired. Maybe if I don't accept that money, or if I'm gonna do it differently and run the risk accepting it in another way." But again, you compare this new system to what we have right now, and that new system where we have the possibility to fire a public official, I think is way better option. It's not perfect. It's not gonna prevent all types of corruption, but it's gonna be more preventable than what we have right now. Larry Wilson, how does your governmental model deal with the loss of human nature and the natural tendency to corrupt systems over time? Again, Larry, you have to compare it with what we have right now. How can we avoid having corruption in the government right now? There's nothing you and me can do. Nothing. We have to wait for years to take some other decision for some other politician to come in and do exactly the same thing. But it will be dependent on us to keep an eye on public officials, and we feel or see that some official is doing some shady business, we get them fired. Public officials are going to start learning. You do something shady, you get fired. How does your governmental deal with different intelligence agencies and other covert methods to circumvigate around the traditional government system? Larry Wilson, I think I'd explained that in the presentation that I made. Probably if you get to see the presentation, I think I answered that question or explained that. Because we're going to be electing public officials from some of these institutions. I'm going to show you the slide on the screen. This is the people that we are going to be electing through this system, through this software. How does your governmental system embrace the common rapid growth of artificial intelligence and other applications to survive in a post-scarcity economy? Larry Wilson, what are we doing right now in the government to do these things? Nothing, or probably we're doing things to benefit some companies. So again, in the new form of government, if we find out about this, we can fire whoever's in that position, get another person immediately. The sooner the better. Larry Wilson, how does your governmental system enforce enough consequences to the point where somebody doesn't even want to try to manipulate it in the first case because of the consequences? Getting fired. You can put someone in the position, in that public position, probably as a president. He immediately goes into doing something that he was not supposed to do. We get him fired. 30 days is the maximum he's going to be on power. Larry Wilson, actually the people in power don't even see the general population as a threat, which is why they do what they do and they don't care if you know about it. Larry Wilson, with this new form of government, public officials will learn that if they do something that go against what we want as majority, the citizens want, they're going to get fired immediately. And whoever is in charge of investigating, if they don't investigate, they will get fired too. People are going to learn how the system works. Edgar Hernandez, I bet you still claim that Social Security when you retire and still file those taxes every year. Clearwater. Social Security when I retire, maybe I'm not retired yet. And taxes, yeah, in where I live in right now, yes. So with the new form of government, we expect changes from the public officials to make life better for the citizens of the country. If they don't, we can get them fired. Right now, Larry, the government knows that there's little accountability, probably from their political um, opposition, maybe, but not from the general public. No, there's little accountability, and we got to stop that. So this information is out there. Hopefully, people share this video and it gets to whoever has to listen to this. Hopefully, Bukele, President Bukele of El Salvador, gets to watch this video. Just give me a call. I can show you exactly how to implement this system because, it will be very sad after you step down from power that someone else comes and erase everything that you have done. Probably you can leave a legacy for other people, for your country. You have done so much goodness for your country. It will be sad if someone erase everything that you do. I think, and I see it, that implementing this system, giving the power to the people, okay, man, you will leave a good legacy for your country apart from what you have already done. Um, Edgar Hernandez, that's why we have separation of power. Bukele doesn't need you. Edgar, I continue to think that probably in your case, you haven't seen the presentation. I already explained that separation of power is an illusion. Nobody with two fingers of brains thinks that there's really a separation of powers. You can make deals and people, they make deals between them. It's all in plain sight. I think it's silly to think that there's really separation of power in countries. Bukele doesn't need me. You can be extremely assured of that. That's why I'm saying, Bukele, if you're interested in this new form of government, just give me a call. So maybe Edgar, maybe possibly Bukele would like to talk to me, but definitely not talk to you. Tech and Fan, if voting happens 24/7 on live digital app to instantly remove a president, governor, or judge, how do we secure that system from a massive cybersecurity attack that stops a foreign adversary? Tech and Fan, that's a really good question. How do we stop right now from people doing what they're doing right now to cheat on the voting system in the United States? They only have to do it one day. If they want to do it with this system, they have to do it every day continuously. So this entire machine that protects the system, what are they doing? And it's not an immediate removal of position. It's given, like in companies, giving you your 15 days or 30 days. It's not a perfect system. It's going to be way better than the system that we have right now. Absolutely way better. Thank you, Taken Fan, for that awesome question. Tekken Fan, like state-sponsored hacker groups or $1 trillion tech company from using botnets, deepfakes, and server attacks to artificially tank a politician live approval rating overnight and force. Man, Tekken Fan, that's a really good question. These systems require for every single user to be verified, highly verified. Okay? No deepfakes, no botnets can use the system, and this new system will be implemented with penalties. Like someone tries to hack the system and you get caught, you get 20 years in jail. Yes, for messing with the system. So whoever wants to mess with it, they know that if they get caught, they will go to jail for a very long time. Besides that, Tech and Fan, the database of voting system is publicly accessible. If you are a president, you can hire a small group of people to monitor your voting system, and you can analyze tendencies. You see something moving, you can even use AI to analyze movement in your votes, what's happening, and you can catch even yourself if something is being manipulated. Edgar Hernandez, there's also separation of state and church. By the way, Edgar Hernandez, I think, in my point of view, in this new system, yeah, definitely tax the church. No more, no more citizens having to pay the bill for churches. Larry Wilson writes, hold on. Actually, the people in power don't even see the. Okay, I read that already. I do not believe in a dystopian technological future, although it is possible to have that happen. But technology has many opportunities. A system like you're talking about that would be more technological and manageable for the general population to have more control. Realistically, won't happen in the United States or the West to start. Maybe not to start, but definitely it is my point of view that United States will run on this system because this information is going out and is in the power of the people to implement it, not on the government, and do it legally and peacefully. It's a lot easier in places such as third world countries. We call them to implement new system because the people in power know that the masses will act and hold them accountable. Yes, probably yes, Larry. I understand now what you're saying. Yes. Even though blockchain's not necessarily the best technology coming, there are ways to create public distributed ledgers that require multiple computers to be compromised. Yes, I agree. Fundamentally, it's because the lack of transparency around the world that you have so much corruption in a lot of cases. Yes. And the new system will take care of that in a very good, accurate way. If anybody have any more questions about the system, I'll be happy to answer. I want the difficult questions. Why this system will not work. Larry Wilson writes, it's possible to create a public domain that is registered and it requires that the activity on that website mandates transparency. I don't know exactly what you mean by that and what does that have to do with this system. This madness has to stop, this way of, that we're running ourselves, because life is not getting better. Life is not improving. I think something horrible is going to happen, is going to have to happen in our countries in order for us to stop being distracted and entertained and paying attention to the things that really matter. I'm talking about a new form of government, and there's a lot of people talking about God and having debates, which I don't mind at all. But this is an opportunity to talk about something that will make big changes in our lives, and most people are not interested. It's a little bit sad, but it doesn't matter to me. I gotta do what I gotta do, and this information is being put out, and I know it's gonna go to the ears of someone, some president in some country that probably has a good heart and wanna do something good for their country. And this is my channel, Clear Waters. You can contact me, and I give you more details on how to develop this new form of government, because there's a lot of details that I'm not mentioning here. Tomorrow we go back to talking about God. Apparently that is entertaining for most people that visit the channel, probably. Larry Wilson, the only people that should get tax exempt status are the ones that provide service for the community that provides more value than the taxes collected, such as feeding the homeless or shelters. In my point of view, Larry, we definitely have to tax churches. Definitely. I'm ready for those tough questions, Larry. You're the only one asking mostly the questions about this new form of government. Probably I'll make another live stream talking about it. This is the sad part about having a channel in YouTube, that you have to draw a balance between putting out something out there that you know is of value, but viewers don't see it that way. You pay a price. Anybody that has a question about this new form of government or wants to call in to have a conversation, how this new system is going to be able to stop attacks, corrupt this voting system, what is planning to be implemented to stop this kind of attacks from groups. Is there going to be punishments for someone getting caught trying to fix the system? Yes. People are gonna go to jail for attacking the system. Yes. Hackers, they're gonna think about it twice. And the software for this system, in a way, is kind of not that complicated, which makes it quite easy to find irregularities in attacks and that kind of stuff, vulnerabilities. What I mean by that, if you can have a hacker attacking the system and thinking that nobody's watching him or something like that while he's being tracked, and then get 20 years in jail for trying to attack the system. You're going to be able to have this system on the palm of your hand with your phone or with your computer, or just visiting one of the voting centers that you can vote on a computer if you don't want to carry the software on your phone. Someone else's access someone else's phone in order to change their vote and they get caught, they can go to jail. Have 8 years in jail for doing that, from trying to corrupt the system. You know, probably tonight I'm gonna do a 2 hour live stream because I don't think this is I don't see any people really engaging in this extremely important topic about talking about your government in your country. It's sad that most people don't care because you, your family, your friends, your work are being affected right now by your government. But I gotta do what I gotta do. I gotta use this channel to put this information out there. Hopefully, someone sees it and gets interest in this new form of government. Or if someone wants to support me in order to develop it because this needs money, I'll be happy to. More than happy to. Any country, you can call me from anywhere in the world. I'll be happy to have a conversation with you if you want to run your country in a better way that is being run right now. If you're planning to run as a president for a country right now and you think that you would like to try to implement this system in your country, you can give me a call. Tomorrow, Friday, we go back to talking about humans and their beliefs in God. The problematic of believing in God. Perfect. So we're gonna run tonight's live stream for 20 more minutes. I'm not gonna stay here for 3 hours. Pretty much talking to myself. And tomorrow we go back to talking about this problematic of believing in gods. Oh, Tekken fan. If a foreign military AI attacks the app from overseas using hijacked American IP addresses, how does a US prison sentence stop them? And if our AI misidentifies a massive wave of real voters as a bot attack, who overrides AI without shutting down the whole democracy? Why, you, Tekken fan, you're getting your imagination working, but I like this type of questions because we have to test the system and we have to present catastrophic scenarios. So thank you for your question. So if a foreign military AI attacks the app from overseas using hijacked American IP addresses, how does a US prison sentence stop them? You know, Tekken fan, there are ways to implement these types of protections. We're getting now extremely technical. That's why I say I am not presenting everything about this system in one presentation, but this is definitely something that has to be spoken with IT about how to protect the system and avoid these attacks from happening. They can happen to any country, any company, any government right now, and they're happening right now. But in the case of the new form of government, there are counter attacks that we can talk about, and having other types of let's call it punishments to other countries for attacking. But this is a very technical question, and I thank you for that. There's more to the system that we can talk about, but it has their protections, and the people that are going to maintain this system up and running are probably gonna be the best paid people working in in these systems, because you don't want anybody to corrupt them, so you pay them extremely well. They can monitor everything 24/7, any movement, any tendency, something changes, boom, send protection and ask for everybody to change their password. There are many things that can be done to prevent this. Besides that, let's say that everything, there's a massive attack and they were able to erase everything. You reset everything, and in 24 hours, you ask people to vote again and everything goes back the way it was. We're talking about catastrophic scenarios. I like this type of questions. Whoever attacks the system will have to do it constantly, because doing it for one day is not going to cause any changes. Not 2 days, not 3 days. So if a foreign military AI, whatever, is attacking the system, and our people that are maintaining the system are not able to see this, they all have to get fired and get new people. Besides that, Tekken Fan, I mentioned that the software, the app, having its complexities, the core is very simple in the way that you can see an attack very clearly. It's like trying to get to a building to attack the building, but you have to cross a very, very big field. It's gonna be very hard for you to hide when you have to run from the fence to the building in a very extremely open space. That, in a technical way, I'm talking about. So we're shutting down this live stream tonight at 2 hours. That's in 15 minutes. If anybody wants to ask me a question about the new form of government, I'm going through the slides. This is how the app, an idea of how the app will look. This is what you're gonna see on the phone. So in this, while you're looking at the screen right now, 2 different sections to vote for president. So you have 2 chances to put someone in the possibility to be in the position as a president, and whoever wants to be down there too. That way, the majority of the people in the country has to select the president. There's no way around it. It's not like it's happening right now that the minority can select the president. It cannot happen in this system. The majority has to select the president. So if the president is doing something that is not supposed to be doing, that 86% is going to start going down, and Michael Jones is going to start going up. Once Michael Jones goes over that 50% from James Smith, he's going to jump to president position, but it's not going to be president immediately. If he stays there for 30 days, then James Smith has to step down. And this can be implemented in one of maybe three ways, making little changes. Because there are minor subtleties that you cannot see. For example, the president right now goes into second and wants to get rid of Michael Jones. Yes, find ways to stop that from happening, because some presidents will think about it. So that's why I say that there's many details that whoever wants to implement this, have to know. It's just not like putting up a website and putting this voting system and that's it. Any president around the world are interested in this new form of government, you can take the idea from here, or just send me an email or just give me a call. And it doesn't have to be implemented by the government. It can be implemented by the citizens in a legal, peaceful way. So if anybody has any questions, we're going to be here for 12 more minutes. And we're going to call it quits for today. I suspected kind of that this was not going to be a very attractive subject for most people that visit the website. I'm sorry, the live streams. But the information is out there, and I'll appreciate it if you can share it with someone that you think will be interested in this topic. Because probably the US can be saved, but I think probably it's a little bit late. I think there's a possibility that the US is gone. Maybe it's recoverable. I don't think other countries like Spain, Italy, Germany, probably the citizens of these countries are not aware that they already lost their country, in my opinion. Gone. I think in 10 years, USA will be run by people from other countries. And probably not the best countries like Somalia, some other countries. As it is absolutely obvious. Politicians are being bought in plain sight by your politician today. They used to call it giving bribes to politicians. Now they call it donations. So the US right now, in my point of view, most likely is being run by another country. That's why I say probably it's a little bit too late to save the United States. I'm not sure. Probably I'm wrong. There's other countries that are already lost and people haven't noticed yet. UK, right now, people are starting a little bit late to wake up. I think it's a bit late. I'm not trying to be negative. Italy, I used to think that the Italian guy was this guy with black hair, light eyes, like blue eyes. Now the new Italian guy looks like more like African. Yes. So some of these countries are gone. In my point of view, UK is one of those. You no longer have a country for the British people. This country belongs to some other country. Wars right now are not run by firing rifles or rockets or whatever. People just walk right in, make these arrangements with corrupt politicians, and they take over the country. Tekken fan, US is being run by Israel. Tekken fan, I think whoever thinks that you are wrong probably lives in La La Land. They don't have no clue what's going on. In my point of view, Tech and Fan, most people don't understand and don't know what a circular business is. And circular businesses is what you run when you are in government right now. You know, circular businesses, sending money out just to make it return in a different way. So it looks official. But yes, I think the U.S. is already being run partially by another country or countries. It's not only Israel. I think Somalia taking some part of the country, India, Texas. I'm surprised. So I'm telling you that probably in 10 years, the cowboy redneck is gonna be the minority, and they're no longer gonna be able to make any decisions. So that's why I'm putting this information right now before it's too late. Maybe US can possibly be saved. Possibly. I think corruption is past that line. It went overboard and probably you cannot recover it. I don't think UK is recoverable. I don't think so. It's gone. It's past that line, and British people, they lost their country. Gone. Most of them, they still haven't wake up to that reality. Spain, Italy, Germany, in my point of view, I could be wrong. Never been to these countries. But the way I see it from my seat in my computer here, they're gone. Politicians sold their country, sold the citizens' country, and they even haven't found out yet. US, by your politician, people have no idea, I think, what's going on in the US. The amount of corruption and the amount of politicians selling their country just for money. I think it's absurd, absurd. Ignorance, man, you pay it. You pay it later in life. I think that there's a possibility maybe to recover the USA. That's why I'm thinking I don't like to be negative, but I think nothing better than what we have right now we could expect in the future. No, I think probably most likely life is gonna get more difficult because of our ignorance, not because corrupt politicians, no, because of our ignorance. I think probably there has to be some really, really bad situation in the world in order for people then wake up. I like a saying that says that it's not the same to call the devil, to have the devil in front of you. People is like, yeah, whatever, the government, whatever, man. They're gonna steal. They're always gonna steal. Yeah, when you are in the situation where you have no money because of the government's actions and the many years that we live in ignorance, you're gonna have yourself and your family in a tough spot. Then the reality is gonna kick in. Like, man, I remember that guy, Clear Waters, man, like 7 years ago. He was presenting a live stream about a new form of government. I couldn't care less. Now, man, I don't know. But I can. There's only one thing I can do is to put out this information out there. I cannot force people to change their life in a positive way. No. I think you saw it on this live stream right now. Most people were more interested in talking about their feelings about God than talking about their reality, about their families right now, their lives. That's the problematic I'm telling you about when it comes to gods. People seem to be more worried about the esoterics than what they have in real life right now. I think it also has to do with your position in life, if you're way too comfortable in life, yeah, you can sit down and think about your Lord and Savior. But if you're in a situation where your country, they're calling you for war because we were stupid and we got into a war, and now you're being called to go to work, and 3 days later you're dead. Once you have your rifle and people are shooting at you, you're like, man, what happened? 3 days ago, I was worshiping my Lord, and look at me now, firing bullets, people firing at me. It's the sad reality that you have to pay for being ignorant. And I include myself, which I'm paying right now. I'm a slave of my own ignorance that I have been all my life. I think that's one of the reasons I'm doing these live streams, in order to get myself out of being a slave. I want my freedom back. That's one of the reasons I'm doing these live streams. I want my freedom back. This is not a way to live life. No, hard work, spend all day working, day and night, see if you can pay the bills at the end of the month. This is not the way to live life. And then complain about the president or the government or the corruption. Whoever bought their new airplane, who bought their new jet. Nope, I'm done with that. And right now, I am so sure right now that I'm gonna achieve my freedom, and being in financial freedom is gonna speed up that freedom for myself. Probably I'm not being very detailed on what I'm talking about, but I'll continue doing live streams, and I'll share more with you. So it's gonna be 2 hours here in a few minutes, and we're gonna shut down this in a few minutes. And then probably we go back to talking about this nonsense about believing in God. Apparently it's very entertaining. That's one of the prices that you have to pay for putting this type of having this live streams. There's a balance between putting out of something of value and something that people want to see and hear. Some people say, hey, why are you doing this? You sound fake. Yeah, because if I do something that probably I think is of value, nobody wants to watch it. Like it's happening right now. I'm paying a price right now. This probably has been the lowest audience since I started getting more audience. I went back. Not many people are interested in this topic about getting your freedom back. Forget about government, forget about making the world a better place. Some people are not aware that they are slaves, just like me, of our own ignorance. But let's end this in a positive note. This system that I'm sharing with you right now will take place. I don't know if it's going to be first time in the US or in some country in Europe or some country in South America, but it will happen. Because in 30 years, we're not going to be using markers or crayons and papers and using machines that can be easily manipulated. It's not going to continue happening. Just to share this with you, there has been 2 businesses in my life that I came up with the idea, never took action of it, probably expressed it to someone that I could consider being a partner. They were not interested. And then Uber came out. Yes. Many years back. And the other business that I also thought about was what I called at that time many years ago strategic kitchens. Yes, delivery in a specific parts of the country. Now you know the delivery businesses. So I don't want to make the same mistake with this system. I never took actions of those, and I'm doing it now with this one. I know this is going to work. And probably I'll do another live stream and probably get more people engaged in making changes in their countries. And you can ask me tougher questions and try to break it. Tekken fan, oh, Tekken fan, I'm sorry, I was missing your messages. I'm gonna go back to that one that you wrote after the US being run by Israel. Okay, Tekken fan is writing, hate to sound like a doom and gloom kind of person, but also the thing of affordability, like a house over your head, food, etc., is getting more expensive all by this time. I think we'll need to also fix. Yes, Tekken fan, and I think that's what I'm saying, that people are not aware the direction that we're taking in life in countries is not gonna get better. I'm not a negative person, Tekken fan. I think that I'm very I like to be optimist, and I like to also balance with reality, being realistic. And I can see that the future doesn't look good. Not the far future, the very soon future. Tekken fan also writes, a diminishing middle class that will become the permanent poor class because of jobs becoming fewer and fewer. Tekken fan, that is also not in the future. That is happening right now. Most people are not aware of it, but I think right now people are starting to come to the conclusion that they are the new poor, the middle class. Yes, I totally agree. And Tekken fan also writes, I think that will happen mid 2030s. Yeah, I think your foreseeing is very accurate. Yes, I totally agree. I think probably even sooner than that. Very, very accurate. So 2 hours and 5 minutes. I'm gonna shut down this live stream. Thank you, Tekken fan, for the questions. Thank you also, Larry Wilson. You guys really asked me a lot of questions about the system. Appreciate it. And also some of the guys up there on the vertical. I think it was some people making fun of the new system. That's fine. You know, there's always people. But there was also a few guys on the vertical that were asking me questions about the system. I appreciate it, everybody. I'm out of here. I'll be back tomorrow with another live stream. Yes, probably we'll go back to the problematic with believing in God. So thank you very much. Have a great night and an awesome day tomorrow.